Hello, welcome back to our program. This is the 3-hour news show. You are watching the signature segment, See the Stories.
Now, Hans,
Yes,
did you
yeah.
know the first Asian female test pilot is Indonesian? Did you know that?
Really?
Yes, she is Esther Gayatri and she is recognized as a skilled aircraft examiner with a history of achievements in the aviation and airline industries. She also piloted the inaugural flight on the N219 prototypes 1 and 2 aircraft. Let's have a look.
Now, when Captain Gayatri was young, women rarely aspired to be pilots. Yet, she has always been interested in the world of aviation since high school. She excels in ground and flight instructions as well as operations management. She also took part in operations and flight testing at the Indonesian Aerospace Flight Test Center.
Captain Gayatri earned her degree from Canada's International Pilot Academy in London, Ontario, and she also had the chance to instruct pilots worldwide. So it's hardly shocking that she was admitted to the US as an experimental test pilot in 2017. She has also clocked more than 7,000 hours of flight time.
And now we have the honor to have the captain herself in the studio. Captain, thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome, yes.
So,
my pleasure.
Captain, this might not be familiar for us. What is a test pilot?
A test pilot is professionally someone who is responsible to do an evaluation or testing on a new aircraft coming out from the manufacturer. He or she is responsible to evaluate the predictions from the drawing board, but the professional side is we are the one who is testing the aircraft. That we call that flight testing. So if the aircraft coming out from the manufacturer is a newly made aircraft or a prototype, so we have to evaluate for first flight.
Okay.
So we need to know the behavior of the aircraft. Is it according to our predictions or not? And the flight test will continue on as we observing the aircraft.
I see.
And we can give some improvements for changing. For if we find out in a flight testing, then we will give a recommendation to change some designs or something to improve the flight safety.
I see.
So you're the one who says yes to this or no to this. You're pretty much the one who gives the green and red light.
Yeah, it's a team. It's a team.
Okay.
Flight testing. Of course, they have to have the pilot in command on doing so. So as an experimental test pilot, yes, I give an engineering insights on what to improve on a new made aircraft.
Okay, now in terms of that, what are actually the experiments or the tests do the test pilots conduct? I mean, in what kind of thing?
Oh, many different kind of tests. Of course, there is experimental tests as a prototype aircraft. There is development test. There is also production test when it's already massive product.
Yes.
And an aircraft as a massive product, that is already type certificate. And then there is a maintenance test.
Yeah.
There is the operational aircraft coming out from the maintenance. Then you check the aircraft.
Yeah.
So we pretty much involved in many flight testing. If you like, the operator wants to change or modification, some modification on the aircraft.
Yeah.
That's test pilot needs to fly it and make a recommendation on that.
Yeah.
Also, to speak, after we have test the aircraft, we make the manual.
Oh, so you are also responsible to make the manual?
Yes, because by the flight testing data, we put it in the manual.
Okay.
And then after that, we always make the test is according to the, we call it regulations.
I see.
Under the rules and regulations, like in Indonesia is CASR, Civil Aviation Safety Regulations.
Yes.
So we are under that part, either part 25 or part 23.
I see.
Okay, Captain, as a test pilot, what was the most challenging aircraft and that you ever tested? Which one would it be?
I would say every test pilot will be, memorable events is the prototype flight test. In the aircraft that is, we just build the aircraft like the N219.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a prototype aircraft that nobody flies it in the world except our company that makes it.
The sense of, I flew it first.
Not so, but it's something that is not easy, because then you have to organize with a lot of team, of engineering team and the
Yes.
flight test team and the mechanics. So how we gonna do that first flight safely?
So the main objective is actually the safety.
Yes.
Okay.
Even though we are a test pilot, we want to test the aircraft in a safety manner, so that we can get the results and we can continue with the test.
So it seems like you have a very big responsibility.
Of course.
But what we want to know is, what are the qualities, the key qualities and also skills which makes successful test pilot?
Okay, first, it will be good when someone would love what they do. Yeah, you have to have engineering skills, yeah, of course. And then you go to if you go to a pilot schools and attain your credit as a pilot, but yet a test pilot, you need more. You have to be a captain first, and then you will be sent to a test pilot school, certified test pilot school.
I see.
Because there you will be trained as a qualified test pilot to do flying many different aircraft. You have to test many different aircraft, so you know how to test the aircraft, unknown aircraft.
Unknown.
Unknown aircraft for you. So then you will assess the aircraft, you make the reports, you make the data, the aircraft behavior in this type are different, many types. So test pilot needs to fly many types of aircraft.
Wow, how many?
As many as you can. I've been flown maybe 25 above, types, since I was
Captain
young.
and test pilot.
Since you were young.
Yeah, when we added up, I flew around 25 aircraft.
Whoa, 25 aircraft.
And the process to be a test pilot is pretty long, because you have to be a captain and then you have to take certification.
Yes.
So it's not an easy job.
Yes.
All right, so who are some of the most famous test pilot in aviation history? And can you tell us the significant contribution they made?
Oh yeah, of course. Ian Wright, Wilbur, Chuck Yeager. He's a test pilot. Yeah, of course, Neil Armstrong. He's astronaut.
So Neil Armstrong was also a test pilot.
Oh yeah, Navy test pilot. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's a Navy test pilot. Yeah.
Okay, so listening to those names, now that you've made also a history to be the first female test pilot and happen to be Indonesian, what was the most challenging time for you in terms of people's perspectives, and also let alone in a men-dominated job?
Yes. Initially, when I was earlier in 1984, when I pursued this, reluctancy when they see women pilots in Indonesia. But then I thank God that Professor Habibie received me in the Indonesian aerospace. At that time is PT IPTN. So reluctancy there is still, because can she do it? Can she make it? And let alone that, I was graduating not from IPA, math.
Oh yeah,
I'm
not from
IPS,
science.
Not from science. I'm from social studies.
Oh, I can relate to that. I'm a social studies student back then.
Yeah, well, so you need to have a high motivation, determination, and keep on going, because challenges makes you a better character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we grow. Challenges make you a better character. So reluctance and people in that time was saying, oh no, you cannot be a test pilot. You don't have any background of engineering and so on.
Yeah.
But yeah, facts tells different story.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I was
true.
left alone with everybody is going out from the company, and I was the only one left alone in the company. So who is going to fly?
Yeah.
Oh, somebody, maybe I can pinpoint someone, but the point stops here.
Yeah.
So it is not easy, but
Yeah.
I thank God that he really gave me, I have really faith that we can do it. We
Yeah.
can do it. For the first flight at that time, we can do it. It's very challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah, how will the aircraft fly? Will it respond what I think it will respond? But thank God at that time, the first flight of N219, we did it 26 or 30 minutes. And we take off and land again safely.
Safe.
The important thing was flight testing should be done as such that you will safe land. You can make a safe landing.
Yeah.
That's important.
All right.
You know, I should have asked this earlier. When you were a little girl, how did you know that you wanted to be a test pilot? Like, what was it that made you want to do this?
No, it was a long story. I was walking with my mom one night in East Kalimantan. I was just high school.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the stars, and I told my mom, you know, talking chit-chat, and said, Mom, I think I'd like to be an astronaut. We are at the time fascinated by Apollo.
Yes.
Remember?
Yeah.
So I said, I like to be an astronaut. And she says, what about your math? Oh, okay. I think I like to be a pilot then. And it was. And then I got a chance to ask my mom and dad to fly with me on the same aircraft.
You did
And
not.
yes, I did. Back in 1987 or so.
How proud were you?
Well, I am proud. I say, Mom, look, we were talking about becoming.
Yeah,
now
yeah.
I am one.
Amazing.
And I thank God for that.
You just have to put your mind to it. All right, so we are still with Captain Gayatri, and we will be back after the break. Do not go anywhere.